Welcome everyone to this forum entitled Advancing National Education Philosophies for Next-Gen Human Capital Development. Now, as we know, the Malaysia's Ministry of Education formulated these philosophies as a sturdy foundation to pioneer our nation-building capacity and holistic human capital development that can prosper throughout 21st century industrial challenges and graduate employability within the world arena. The Ministry of Education, through its National Education Blueprint 2013 until 2025, has outlined several key elements within this philosophical parameter that become a cornerstone towards this motion. So in this insightful evening session, we will uncover a few key differences across these 5 chosen national education philosophies, namely, education is an ongoing effort, development of individual potential, holistic and integrated development of individual, balanced and harmonic being, intellectual element, and we are also going to observe its current integration within our national education landscape. Our goal is to discuss how each element differs from one another, yet works synergistically to ensure well-rounded growth for future scholars and graduates. So this evening, we invited and bring you 5 esteemed individuals and experts representing various agencies and educational institutions to steer these delightful discourses. Let's start with a brief introduction from each panel.
Hello, I'm Farah. I'm a school leader from Southeast International School. I'm hoping that everyone will get some useful insight from this insightful session.
Okay, hi, I'm Sandra Lin, currently serving as a principal at SMK Bukit Garam, Kinabatangan. I have been the principal here for more than 8 years, overseeing my institution's entire operation and development.
Hello, I'm Miza, working as a curriculum designer at Yayasan Pendidikan Terengganu. I'm looking forward to seeing how the implementation of national education philosophies can be integrated within the educational syllabi.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Divya Lakshmi. I'm a lecturer currently teaching academic programs at University Malaysia Terengganu. So as a tutor for various local and international undergraduates, I am keen to explore the strategies to adopt these philosophies into current teaching and learning process.
Hello everyone, I'm Nabila Ashikin from the Educational Policy Planning and Research Division of the Ministry of Education. My presentation this evening is to provide insight into the integration aspect of these philosophies from the governmental perspective down to the grassroots level across various educational institutions.
All right, thank you for all of your sweet and very brief introductions this evening. So let's start this session with the first motion of today around education as an ongoing effort, which is the first element to be discussed in today's teaching and learning process. So perhaps a representative from our very own educational institutions can delight us with her taking on this.
Thank you, Hafiz. Well, if we take a closer look at the pedagogical perspective of today's education system, lifelong learning opportunities have been introduced to all social groupings since the earlier age. Children from age 3 now can enter a play school to develop their motor system, communication skill, and also interaction behavior with the same level until the age of 5. The children will have a preschool to learn basic knowledge in reading and counting. At the age of 7, they become a primary student in school, then move to secondary school. It is also important to note that Islamic or moral education have also been made compulsory from year 1 to Form 5 students in every school. This signifies that lifelong learning efforts has been always ongoing within our education landscape.
I agree with you. The Malaysian government takes matters involving education seriously, based on every Malaysian having its rights to learn and develop holistically along intellectual, spiritual, emotional, and also physical quotients. The Minister of Educational also has stated that Every student needs to join one sport, one club, and one uniform body activities in their school to build and sharpen their leadership skills, individual talents, and also interests. Students will apply their knowledge in the activities such as build strategies in sport, strong morals based on Islamic or moral education, and accurate calculation from mathematics. In a sense, develop students' learning capacities in a long run beyond just classroom session.
Very plausible inputs from both educational institutions' representatives. It seems that our nation has been into lifelong and ongoing education for so long these days. It's different from back in the days when only those who are fortunate enough got the opportunity to access for the education purpose. Talking about ongoing education, the essence must be revolving around bringing about the best from each learner. I believe that goes to our second element with the philosophies itself, which is the development of individual potential. So how exactly can we undertake this notion into our syllabus and curriculum development across various learning institutions?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. So to cater to this notion, we as the curriculum designers need to work hand in hand to empower our education systems to help each student achieve their full potential by providing both formal and informal opportunities for teamwork and leadership development. For example, formal learning, such as learning in the classroom with proper syllabus planning and teaching tools, which are suited to the objectives of the learning, can develop students' thinking skill and encourage their full attention during the learning session. Meanwhile, informal learning can be curated with co-curriculum activities in schools that can help flourishing students' potentials and arousing their interests. Students who are involved in any type of sports can learn various skills such as being able to socially interact with the club members and use cognitive skills to think of winning strategies. We also believe that this essential element should be incorporated into all syllabi in schools in Malaysia, from kindergartens through high schools to develop independence, self-disciplines, set challenges, and solve problems among the students.
Just to add into our curriculum designer here, I think it is also important to note that teachers and lecturers today need to operate and assess every student's learning potential, especially in formal learning based on some standardized metrics. For example, primary school teachers may resort to Pentaksiran Bidadarja, the PBD, or classroom assessment mastery level, which range from TP1 students know to TP6 students know, understand, and able to practice. So, in another way, the same framework might also be adopted by higher educational institutions or colleges based on their own metrics to assess graduates' potentials.
That's right, Divya. Also, not to forget how our primary schooling system has been revolutionized in terms of students' potential development and assessment. Since the repeal of UPSR and PT3 exams, most public primary schools have adopted alternatives such as academic session final exam or ujian akhir sesi akademik and pentaksiran berasaskan sekolah or school-based assessment. This is a form of holistic assessment to measure students' potential, cognitive, affective, and psychomotor aspect in accordance with national education philosophies.
Very good sharing from the educational institutions' perspectives and the curriculum developers. So it is important also to have a tool or metrics to assess student potentials and learning curves. It brings out the most holistic and integrated development across individuals' learning processes. To highlight this holistic and integrated development of individual, right? What are some of the other approaches that can be done by the educational institutions to empower well-rounded and very good human capital development? So perhaps the representative from our collegiate studies and governmental bodies can share a little bit on this.
For educational institution to thrive in holistic students' development, one must fulfill to all-rounded teaching and learning to tackle various fields of studies. Like, for instance, it is known that International Islamic University Malaysia, IIUM, is an institution that highlights holistic education. The institution adopts the element of Malaysian National Educational Philosophy, NEP, as they highlight natural science, social studies, and the humanities. Natural science focuses more on physical environment. Social science highlights more about understanding the social environment in order to create a positive relation with the society, and humanity is about an individual understanding themselves in order to achieve their own purpose and goals.
Right. So that means students will be mastering every possible knowledge field based on the collegiate and higher educational perspectives. So what about from the governmental standpoint?
Right, from the governmental views, it goes back to the purpose of introducing the national educational philosophies itself, which is to produce holistic and integrated development of individuals. We align these philosophies based on the educator needs, student feedbacks, and also standard curriculums demands to create positive learning impact. Overall, I would say that implementation of the grassroots level has been significantly successful in a study conducted on both students and teachers from both government and also private schools, such as SM Science Kuching, SMK Swan Joseph, and also SMK Tabuan Jaya, Changhua Middle School and Sunny Hill Schools. The statistical data show that the student from both government and also private schools agrees that it is give an impact to the student.
Very well. Thank you for your valuable insights on some of the strategies and the overall responses received since the first integration of our national education philosophies. Moving on to the next element, which is balanced and harmonious individual. How can educational institutions make sure that their learners are not just solely performing in their studies, but also excelling in their moral developments, along with other social skills to make an impact to the community?
This is from the higher education perspective. To promote balanced and harmonious individuals, higher learning institutions may resort on students' upskilling opportunities through short courses, vocational studies, flexible learning programs, or even co-curricular involvements to increase students' visibility in the social development. The TVET institution, or how we call it as TWET institution, they gain the upper hands here, especially when it comes to innovation and developments. This is why many learning institutions today are starting to integrate the TVET models into their curriculum. Not to forget on the co-curriculum involvement as well as being mentioned by the government and curriculum designer representative. Learning institutions need to provide adequate platform for students to grow their social skills to become balanced in their academic and social progress through clubs, students associations, and sporting activities that can sharpen their social and leadership skills. It's not all about education, there must be a balance of sports there.
Yeah, that is correct. Collaborative learning experience is also the key for students to upgrade their social skills. With the advancement of ICT, technology allows students to easily connect and take learning outside of the classroom in collaborative manners. Some of the other ways to promote balance, socially efficient, and harmonious individuals can also be done through the introduction of alternative field of study. Like, for instance, Sekolah Bina Insan Yayasan, MSU, a private institution owned by the Management and Science University, MSU, may be referred to as an exemplary model that promotes balance and holistic human capital development through its comprehensive standardized curriculum structure and its spiritual development integration through DB syllabi, which aim to produce a technocratic, scientific, and professional Hafiz generation. Some learning institutions also integrated sustainability related courses and community projects to promote students' awareness to social challenges and impact also to the environment.
Very perfect explanation from the teaching communities. It gives a new breath and a whole new way of looking at balance and harmonious individual development. It can be adopted by many learning institutions, be it at primary level, secondary level, or higher education level. Since we are nearing the end of this forum, so maybe some can share on the intellectual element itself as formulated in the philosophies and elaborated from the graduate employability and knowledge transfer perspectives.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Hafiz. I will take this one. It is very crucial to be able to think critically and creatively while also being knowledgeable. For example, we can see how higher education or universities, like let's say UNITAR, as a complement to formal education, the university actually encourages activities that stimulate intellectual growth. Club and societies focusing on debate, educational fairs, and cultural events that foster an environment of knowledge sharing and collaborative learning. In terms of aligning the knowledge gained with the graduate employability demands, universities and all Malaysian schools may also offer exposures to the industrial demands through career profiling sessions like the one to be organized by UNITA in collaboration with, if I'm not mistaken, per Queso and my future jobs from, I think it's somewhere between 9 to 15 October 2024 to connect with industry professionals, recruiters, and potential employers. So this opportunity provides students with good sense for those venturing into specific field of study and their anticipated future outcomes as they enter the modern workforce. That will be from me.
I agree with that motion. Schools from both primary and secondary level can also adopt these essential critical thinking and creativity elements to empower intellectual elements through rigorous innovation and research. We can also start to implement industrial connection programs that can expose students to the real world employment sector through various career fair and industrial links.
Thank you for these enduring approaches and hopes that we can adopt to enhance the intellectual elements within the Malaysian educational landscape. We have covered a lot of ground today on the integration of national education philosophies across various educational sectors. So all in all, it is safe to say that the essence of the philosophy itself is not just to cater the education communities in Malaysia, but also to produce a reliable, resilient future graduates to pioneer our nation-building purposes and the industrial developments in the future. Education is not something where one excels in examination and get good academic scores alone. It is about to nurture individual potentials and talents that can significantly impact the community for greater good. Decent academic progress accompanied with exceptional social talents are the best recipes to further our human capital development towards a rather humane and holistic educational programs that tackle all spheres of life. With that being said, I want to thank you to all of our panels and esteemed guests for today. And together we hope that this session will shine some light and promote future revisits to empower our national education philosophies for the greater impacts. Thank you and have a good day ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Hafiz. Indeed, a great knowledge sharing section, especially coming from various individuals representative from many agencies. It's actually a very good knowledge sharing section. Thank you.